Welcome back to the Hause of Wellness Podcast, where we talk about changing your mindset around self-love, abundance, money, wealth and prosperity. If you are new, my name is Jack Scott Lee, your spiritual mindset and wellness, abundance, manifesting queen. So this is kind of new. I usually record the podcast, as you know, or if you don't know, twice a week, and it's always audio, so I never ever do it visually and video. Then I was thinking, I've been talking about it to everybody, that so much of the stuff that I do is really visual. All the tapping, and the EFT, all the affirmations, the self-love stuff, all the stuff that I do is really visual. And the House of Wellness is about being vibrant and colourful and shining your light and shining your vibe and attracting, your peoples. So I thought I want to bite the bullet, take the leap. Something that I want to talk about in today's episode as well is taking the leap and doing the things, not just talking about doing the things. So I've been going on about it for a while now. I want to set up all the space in the house. I want to set up where I want to record and get the lights, the cameras, the artwork, my microphone, get all the stuff and get the podcast moving in the direction I want it to go to, and actually doing the things that I say. And it's kind of like one of the things I want to talk about today, and something that's like an ongoing theme as well around manifestation, law of attraction, and living the life of your absolute wildest dreams, because that is possible for you. And not just talking about, I think I want to do is something other, and actually, going from procrastination to doing the things you say you're going to do, and how your life will be, and how your life can change, and your mindset and your day-to-day will change when you take the leap of faith, or just take action steps, even if it be big or small. I thought taking the plunge, biting the bullets, and going after things and doing the things, and see how this turns out and how it expands. When I first started doing the podcast a few months ago, it hasn't been that long since I started doing it. And so many people have already started listening and watching and corresponding. I read loads of stuff about, when you first do podcasts and things, no one's really going to listen to your stuff. So, you can make errors, you can do, make mistakes, you can do whatever you want because no one really listens. And I had so many people listening from like the very first few episodes. I think I've been talking about manifestation and how I've been using the law of attraction, how I've been using manifestation, how I've been using gratitude, mindset, positivity all throughout my life to not only manifest like tons and tons of cash, manifest dream homes, manifest so many amazing things, businesses, love, partners, marriage, all this sort of stuff by using my mindset techniques, my manifestation, and directing my energy to better thinking thoughts and allowing positivity and gratitude and awesomeness and fabulous into my life, because that is absolutely possible for me, for you, for everybody. We spend so much of our time focusing on what can go wrong and like the dangers of this, and worrying about things that haven't happened, and like crisis management, I call it, when actually these things may not even happen, they might not even be true. So why do we give them so much onus and energy and withhold them into fear almost as well? But before I get into all that, I always like to talk a bit about myself and what I've been doing throughout the day. So today, when I was getting all this stuff set up for the podcast and things, I had loads of equipment that I'd bought, I'd invested in, again, taking the leap. I was like, do we really want to spend this kind of money on this, that and the other, and on microphones, on lighting, on iPads, that and the other, and I was like, I'm just going to take the plunge, bite the bullet, do the thing, then just get into it, and just know that I'm trusting the universe. This is like one of the directions that I want to go in, because I've done this throughout my life where I have taken inspired action to go after my dreams, goals and desires, whether that be making the first move in a relationship, or applying for a job, or taking a course, taking a class, and just putting myself out there. And this comes to allowing yourself to be uncomfortable and stuff. So anyway, I bought all this stuff, and a lot of the stuff I really wanted to keep. And some of the stuff I was like, this isn't as good as I thought. There was a microphone that I'd bought and some lights and things, and this went right. And I thought I'm just gonna dash into one side and whatever. And the hubs was like, oh, we can just return all this stuff and get our money back. I was like, oh, it's a return, do them returns. Like, you know, when you do things on Amazon and things, it's just all whatever. Returning stuff, I always find just like a hassle and things I still want to do. And actually, it turned out to be really easy. But yeah, so there's a place that we take the returns and things. Sometimes we have to return stuff back, and the person who works is not very, I'd say not very helpful, to be like the kindest. And I do the thing where I like to manifest my day as it's already happened. So I do an amazing day manifestation practice where I literally will spend 5, 10, 15 minutes talking about, you know, all the things I'm grateful for. Then I'll talk about my day like it's already happened. And then I'll spend the last part of the practice, should we call it, by speaking about a future desire, a future manifestation that I really want to call in. Like, again, it's already happened. So it's already in the past tense. So I'll say, like, you know, my day was amazing. I got up super early. I did my spiritual practice. I was super healthy. I had gorgeous food. I laughed all day long. I was surrounded by positive, beautiful people. And as part of that, I'll send love ahead. So if I know I'm going somewhere, like, for example, I'm going to my place of work, I'll send love ahead. Everyone that I spoke to was on a high vibe. I laughed all day long. I was so much of service, and in doing so, by giving so much good service, good value, and being authentic, the universe blessed my ass with tons of cash, abundance, joy, prosperity, all this good stuff. And I even get more specific by envisaging certain people or energies and surrounding them with love and light and like a pink. I always use like a pink, neon purple energy, and imagining them being surrounded by love and light, and, you know, just being their most beautiful selves. And imagining things going really well as opposed to imagining things going so terrible. And sometimes, even though I'm on this high vibe law of attraction journey and energy, the hubs, my other half, will say like, oh, that's not very high vibe, or that's not very law of attraction, that's not, you know, positive. You could be thinking, how about this instead? Because even I can fall off the high flying saucer of positivity sometimes, and that's okay. You're allowed to be human. And one of the things I learned with law of attraction, that you do not have to be positive all the time. It's okay to think, you know, negative thoughts, quote unquote negative thoughts, or, you know, non-serving or not very helpful thoughts. You know, that's absolutely fine. You can address those and find out where they're coming from, or, you know, why you're thinking that, and then move forward from there. But by not addressing it, it kind of like, you're kind of like almost gaslighting yourself, you know what I mean? And you have this kind of negative, and the new word is like toxic positivity, isn't it? However, I sent love ahead to the return company. We had to go to return these parcels. I had like ring lights, microphones, there were like neon lights and all these loads of mad stuff, and it came to quite a substantial amount of money. And with the house, like, you know, why are you going to keep it? This is like, you know, telling the universe that, you know, you're just like whatever about money is, but actually, you know, you deserve to have this money back, because you're not going to use it, and actually you can use this money for whatever else you want to use it for. And I thought, yeah, you're right, you're totally right. So when I envisioned my day, I was like, everything went really well. All the boxes and the parcels were easy to wrap, easy to pack. All the labels, everything was great. We went on over to the exchange place, and the woman who worked behind the counter was absolutely amazing. They were so helpful. They were so full of like enthusiasm to help me out. It went so easy, so swimmingly well. Anyway, got there now. And and part of my visualization, they even wished me an amazing day. And so I got there, I'd had all these parcels to return, and they really helped me. I thought, oh, don't worry, if you just do this, scan this QR code, scan this one, do this, that, and the other, and they'll, don't worry, I'll help you, I'll do it for you. And I thought, wow, that's not the experience I had last few times, actually. You've been like, you know, the opposite. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you so much. And then they were like, oh yeah, because there were loads of like little bits and pieces, like little sticky notes and what have you. And they were like, oh, don't worry, I'll take all that rubbish for you, I'll sort it all out, you know, don't worry about it, and then I'm going to send out all the packages for you, and don't worry, everything's going to be super easy and super straightforward. Go about your day and have an amazing day. And I literally laughed to myself so much. I thought, oh my God, I literally manifested this whole situation, and I focused my energy, my intention on everything going swimmingly well and amazingly well, because that is absolutely in your power to do so. I mean, this is like a really small thing, but I find it always works where I'm sending love ahead to where I've got to be, or something that I'm dreading, or there's a long journey, like I travel around quite a lot for work and stuff, so I'll send love ahead because now I'm gonna have a long drive, or I'll say things like. The drive down to, we were in London recently, so the drive down to London was really smooth, really easy, parking was amazing, all the people that I had to connect with, all our meetings went on time, and everyone showed up as their best selves, and it was really creative, really, everyone's really enthusiastic and helpful, and these sort of things, like just focusing your energy and attention on it. The universe is going to conspire to meet you on your frequency, because you're already vibing high already and you're expecting the best. Because if you're expecting the worst, then 9 times out of 10 the worst is going to happen. You know what I mean? Or if not the worst is going to happen, because it might not happen at all, but like your experience and your journey is going to be more tainted, because you're going to be too busy worrying about things that haven't already happened. So and if they were to happen, it's like you're giving yourself that anxiety double, because you've already stressed things and caused yourself anxiety over already. And actually, you get to choose exactly how you want to feel at any given moment about any situation. So I thought that was really funny that I'd manifested this whole thing around that, and actually everything went really well. And by the time I got back to the house and all the stuff that I had to do, I'd already had some notifications that everything had gone through, my money had been reimbursed. I was like, wow, this is so super fun, it's super easy, and all the stuff that I'd replaced it with. That had arrived on time as well, and it was even better. And I'd saved like loads of money as well. So it was just like a really nice reminder, because even though I need reminding sometimes that like I'm not always being super positive all the time, and that's absolutely okay too. Like I always say to people that when you have these things come up, or circumstances or contrast, or I like to say plot twists throughout the day, because when you wake up every morning, you have no idea what's going to happen. All you can do is focus on, you have some things like you kind of know your routine, your schedule and stuff, but actually every day is going to be different, and you don't always know how people are going to react, or people are going to bring to you. You commute, whatever's going on around you, you can't really control. But what you can control is how you show up, and your energy, and how you react to things, and where you choose to put your intention, where you choose to put your focus. So if you're constantly focusing on this, oh God, my job's so terrible, or I hate this person, or this person's always like this, then 9 times out of 10 they're going to show up as that person, or that your boss is going to be a certain way because you're focusing on that. So I like to go really heavily into gratitude. Gratitude is amazing. It's such a massive game-changing practice for me, and for everyone that I tell as well. I always say practice gratitude, and I like to do it as part of the amazing morning day ritual. Is that I always practice gratitude. I always start my practice by talking about all the things I'm grateful for, and even if I'm having a contrasting situation with people, and this can be tricky. This can be really tricky sometimes, especially when you're like in disagreement or in contrast, or there's like bad energy to focus on, or someone's just getting on your nerves. You know what I mean? To actually focus on the good of that person, that thing, that situation, and try and find, look for the good. Like what's this situation teaching me? I say to people like, I'm so grateful that I have a job. I'm so grateful that I'm getting paid. I'm so grateful I get to see, this is happening to me. So this is happening for me. Which one is it? And I get to do this. I get to do that. I get to do my favourite thing. I get to go to work. I get to drive my car. I get to do all these things. This is not happening to me. It's happening for me. And you get to choose your focus. And if I'm having a contrast with somebody, I'm like, I take a step back to think about the positives of that person and why I'm grateful for that person. And I've done this with things in the past as well, where there might be like a friendship which I'm letting go of, and instead of like I'm focusing on the bad qualities of that person, I try and focus on the positives of that relationship at the time, and what I was thankful for, what I was grateful for, what he taught me, and even when you say no to things, and when you say no, and oh, this is not serving me, or I'm not feeling this is not my vibe, or I don't agree with that, you putting in your boundaries, telling the universe what is in alignment for you, and actually putting in boundaries and saying no is like a massive, huge act of self-love in itself, because it's your own self-worth, and so this is my bar, this is my standard, this is what I'm, this is what my values are, and this is what's right for me, and this doesn't sit well for me. So I'd gone from there to from the postal place to drop off all the parcels for the returns, and I had to go pick up some cosmetics, And the ladies always really chatty to me, and they were like, "Have a nice day." I was like, "Oh, you have a nice day too." They're like, "Oh, I'll try." Stuck here, you know, and they were like really down about it, and I was like, "Well, actually, you get." And I was like, no. I was saying to myself, I was like, "Oh my god, actually, this is like a dream job. They get to be surrounded by makeup and perfume all day long. The shop's really quiet all the time. They get to hang out with all this amazing cosmetics, getting paid pretty cool, you know, pretty good money, and they're just chilling. And you know, it looks like a really good thing. And sometimes you don't really notice your own blessings. And actually, you know, when you're focused on the good, and everything's dragging, and I hate my job and hate this, and you need to have to focus on the negative, and you're gonna attract more of it. You know what I mean? And so, one of the things I wanted to talk about today, and I've been talking about this a lot lately on the audio podcast and on my Instagram and my TikToks too, about, you know, taking action towards your dream goals and desires. And if you're not following me on the socials, what are you doing? Have a look on my TikTok, my Instagram is the House of Wellness. Where I post content all the time. Every day I'm posting things like tapping, affirmations, astrology, all the amazing tools that I talk about and discuss and use myself. I'm always sharing them online and on all my channels, so you can help up-level your life and be a badass, amazing biatch too. But yes, so I want to talk about it today. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail, and what would your life look like if you actually did the thing that you were supposed to do? Like today, I'm just literally setting up this video podcast today. I was like, okay, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just going to go for it. It's what I really want to do. I record astrology videos all of the time. I'm recording podcasts all the time. So I link them both together. You know what I mean? And there's a bit of self doubt when I first started. I was like, you know, who am I to tell people what to do? And you know, what will people think about me doing a podcast to start with anyway, which has been going for a few months now. You know, what will they think of me? And who am I to tell people, you know, about manifestation and abundance and self-confidence, self-love? Then I thought, well, why not me actually? You know, because actually I've done there's loads of things that I do and I've done and I like to do, and I want to share that story with other people, even if I help just one person. Doing my job, and I think that as part of being human is being of service and helping others. This is why we're here on a planet with so many other people, and when you're helping others, it doesn't take away from your own light either. You know what I mean? You can lift each other up and support each other and help each other grow, and you can still grow and shine and be abundant and joyful and reach for your own dreams and goals as well, on the way to helping others too, if and when they want to be helped, of course, you know. So what would you do if you know, you knew you couldn't fail? If you knew you couldn't fail, you can just do anything. What would you do? And also as well, what would your life look like as well if you did the thing that you really want to do? You know, what's holding you back? Like, for example, which one should I tell you first? There's loads of instances where I've I've just bit the bullet. I've not listened to anybody else because no one can tell you what to do. Because and I say this a lot in my podcast, that no one can tell you what to do because they don't live your life. You know, they don't have your life experience. When you ask for people's advice, I always say the people that you're asking advice from, are they living the life that you want to be living? First and foremost, because if they're not living the life that you want to be living, then why are you asking them for advice? You know what I mean? Because a lot of people like to stay safe, they like to stay comfortable, you know, because staying comfortable is easy. You know what I mean? It's without risk, it's comfortable, you know. Going after your dreams, going after your goals, going after your desires is uncomfortable. You have to step out of your comfort zone, and when you step out of your comfort zone, there's a risk involved, and when there's risk involved, you know, you're going to be a beginner at something, or there's going to be stumbling blocks. You're not going to be quote unquote perfect, and you may quote unquote fail. And I always say, well, what does failure look like? What's failure? Because actually, if you're going after your dreams and goals and you're trying to do something, it doesn't work out how you thought it was going to, even though you don't really know how it's going to work out because you're not an expert at everything. You can't be, because you're human. Then have you actually failed? Is failure not going after your dreams and goals and desires and just doing the same thing day in, day out, you know, and being scared, being stuck in a relationship that you're not happy in, going to a job that doesn't fill you with joy, you know, living somewhere that you're not happy with, or, you know, telling yourself limiting beliefs like, I can only earn this much, or, you know, being rich is bad, or people with fast cars have small dicks, for example. Loads of random things that you tell yourselves, you know. What are these stories that you're telling yourself that hold you back? And actually, you know, I like to I like to have like a visionary kind of imaginary board of directors in my head of people that I look up to and aspire to, and I always think, well, what would this person do? Like, what would, for me, it's like, Naomi Campbell do? What would Oprah do? You know, what would who else do I have on my board of directors? What would Garland Darling do? Is the type of an EFT type of person I'm really into. What would one of my mentors do, for example? You know, these sort of people I want to be asking advice from. Even they are going to be telling you from a point of perspective that only they have lived. You know, because ultimately, you know what's right for you. And, you know, even if you are making the wrong decision, you're going to be learning so much on the way to be doing that as well. You know, so for example, I decided to leave my steady job. Well, first of all, I actually started the business. I started my first business, and I'd never started a business before. I had no idea what I was doing. You know, I just did it because I knew that I wanted to do it. I knew I wanted to make tons of cash. I really enjoyed what I was doing at the time. I knew that there was more money to be made, and I thought I don't want to work for anybody else. I want to make the money for me and for my loved ones and myself and my family. You know, and I thought, well, you know, this is what I need to do. I'm just going to do it. And the people telling me loads of stuff, you know, like, it's safe to do this, day this, well, you don't do that because you're going to spend loads of money, it's never going to work, loads of negative beliefs people telling me. There's people supporting me, obviously, but ultimately I had to support myself, and I just bit the bullet and just did it. And actually, I had a really successful business, made loads of money, I was doing really, really well with it. But towards the end of that, when I was living it, and I thought that was my dream goal and desire, I decided that, you know, it just felt like it wasn't right. And it wasn't in alignment to what I wanted to do anymore. It wasn't my sole purpose, my sole calling anymore. And that's absolutely okay too, because you're allowed to change your mind at any given moment. Who is to say that you have to have the same job, same career, same partner, same whatever it is the rest of your entire life? What is to say that part of your life purpose is to experience all these different things and all these different people and all these different, you know, circumstances? What's not to say that is your life purpose as well? You know what I mean? So I remember, so that's I'm just going to go for it, you know, and I started this really amazing business, despite what anyone told me I couldn't do. I did it, you know what I mean? And it was really good. I really enjoyed doing it, and it just came to a point where I just thought to myself, this is not what I want to do anymore. There was another part of me I wanted to take on a completely different path. I wanted to delve into spirituality, get into my artistic side, get into creativity, and live a life which is more, you know, purposeful to myself, and of service too. I mean, in my first career, I was still of service as well. But I wanted to be more spiritual, into spiritual alignment more. And so I just bit the bullet. I was like, okay, I'm going to pack my bags. I'm going to close my business and move abroad to Ibiza and live my absolute wildest best life, become a dancer, and something I've been training to do. I really want to do it. This is my life purpose, my life calling. I have no idea how I'm going to do it. And this is like a really extreme thing, you know. I'm not saying you have to give all your possessions, your job, your house, whatever, you know. But at the time, I felt like I needed to do something really like an extreme. At the time, it seemed really extreme. Now it seems like whatever. Now it seems like actually, if I wanted to move to a different country and work, I can do that because I can work anywhere. You know what I mean? But I've set my life up so to do that by putting things in place. But at the time, it felt really extreme because I listened to all these people like, oh my God, you can't do that. You can't just give everything. These are the same people that are telling me not to open my business, or they were telling me you can't close this down, you can't just change careers, you know, you've got all this going on, you've got an amazing house, amazing car, all these amazing things, you know. And I was like, well, ultimately it's my happiness that's really important, and this is just stuff. And it's not to say that the money that I had now is all the money I was ever going to make. And on reflection, when I look back now, I wish I'd done it sooner, because I'd wasted like maybe up to a year thinking about this thing I wanted to do by moving to another country, starting another career, starting, you know, a completely different lifestyle to what I was doing before that. And on reflection now, I was thinking, you know what, knowing what I know now, I would have done it faster in a heartbeat. I literally packed I packed a suitcase, I packed my pole dancing pole, and I literally just moved on over straight into Ibiza. And I was living on my friend's couch for a couple of weeks, and then before you knew it, I moved into a beautiful penthouse, secured all the jobs that I wanted to get in dancing and beyond. I was dancing on boat parties, I was dancing in some of the biggest clubs on the island. I had an amazing apartment, I was living the absolute life of my dreams, and this was all in the space of a few months, you know, because I'd manifested it all. I'd set my intention. I knew this is what I was going to do. I knew what I wanted to do. I was going to set out to do it. No one could deter me and stop me. But saying that, that is not to say that it was all sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops. No. There was loads of breakdowns, loads of tears, loads of like, oh my God, what am I going to do next? Because my security, all the things that I was so secure with, I'd just gone and I started again from zero. What I thought was zero, but actually I was starting from so much more knowledge. Do you know what I mean? But I had such an amazing time living it and doing it and just taking that leap. You know what I mean? And then I decided that from there, I was going to start another business and open a dance studio, for example, and that because I'd set my intention again, and I just went out and did the thing. You know what I mean? People telling me no, you can't do this, or I had so many people telling me that it was never going to work. I should stay safe. I should get a normal job. I should do a 9 to 5. I should do this and the other. And I should, should be doing that at a certain age. And as you get older, you should be thinking about security. And I was like, who's to say how old you are to do anything? So imagine if your life was like, okay, I'm 20, whatever it is now. I've met my partner. I want to buy a house. I'm in my job, and this is me now until I'm dead. Imagine that. And if that's what you want, then this channel is not for you. But also, there was for me, there was like life is so vibrant, life is so full of colour. There's so many different pathways and avenues and things I want to do and explore. That my life is ever changing, and actually you're allowed to reinvent yourself so many times, and whenever you want to, we tell ourselves these stories like, oh, by the time I'm 20 you should be doing this, when you're 30 you should be doing this, when you're 40 you should be doing, and as part of one of the things that I wanted to mention as well was, apart from manifesting like amazing jobs, amazing careers, amazing houses, amazing villas and amazing penthouses, I also manifested my partner because I had actually bit the bullet and did the thing that really scared me the most, which is telling them how I felt, because I didn't know how they felt about me. You know what I mean? Because we've been friends for so long, and actually going about and telling them how I felt, and then having them tell me that they felt exactly the same, was like amazing. It was such an amazing feeling, because it was like stepping out of your comfort zone and allowing yourself to be vulnerable, whether that be in your dating life, your relationship, in your personal life, in your career, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, allowing yourself to make mistakes, allowing yourself to be imperfect, because perfect's boring. We're not here to be perfect. We're here to learn. We're here to delve into contrast and grow from that. We're here to make mistakes, and sometimes things are going to be quote unquote difficult, but actually I always say through difficulty and breakdowns and what seems to be like things not working out, things are always working out, because the universe is always directing you into the exact place you need to be. I always say to people, like, you put your directions into a GPS, for example, and you kind of know the destination you want to get to, and along the way in your car, you're driving along the GPS. Sometimes you're going to lose signal and you're going to go the wrong way, or you're going to mishear the GPS and you're going to take a wrong turn, or things aren't always going to go to plan, but you always end up where you're meant to be at the exact right time. And sometimes you have to go a different way to enjoy the view. And while you're enjoying the view, you're going to see other things and other distractions and other things to learn from, meet other people along your journey. And this is all a part of going after your dreams, goals, and desires. But in doing so, you have to ask yourself, what is that one thing that you would do that's going to scare you, that's going to change your life, you know what I mean? Because we hold ourselves back. We do our vision boards, we do our manifestations, we do affirmations, but then we don't always take inspired action. And as part of law of attraction, which is about manifesting whatever you want, you can think it, you can visualize it, and you can manifest it. But a part of that is also taking inspired action. So for me, recently, I'm thinking about changing my car. So I've been taking inspired action by test driving loads of supercars and booking in test drives, getting the experiences in, and speaking to dealerships, doing that and the other, because I want to level my car. And that's kind of scary. And I had all these beliefs around money, around wealth, around prosperity, and what I deserve. So, I was doing not only affirmations, visualizations, I was also doing my EFT positivity tapping, which I'm absolutely so into, where I would write down all the negative beliefs I have around money, around wealth, and around being deserving of wealth and what I think about wealth, and writing them all down and tapping them out. So if you haven't tapped before, I've got loads of tapping videos on all socials of my House of Wellness Instagram, on TikTok, and on YouTube too. I have loads of different tapping videos and scripts. I even have a beginner's guide to tapping book on my House of Wellness store. And I love tapping because it's kind of like telling you that, yeah, you can be positive all the time, of course, do that, but also address the issue, because no matter how positive you are, if you don't address the issue first, the problem's going to come back, and no matter how much money you make or how abundant you become, you're always going to have those same issues, the same problems. And I found that the more money, whether I was making tons of money or not having enough or being really broke, I always had the same affirmations and self-beliefs and the self-worth around money and wealth and prosperity and how much I was allowed. So I'm constantly tapping and doing tapping on self-worth, releasing blocks and fears around money, around spending money, receiving money, being deserving of money, and what money means to me, and allowing myself to be bougie and abundant, because this all ties into self-love, and how much you allow to earn can sometimes be tied into how much you love yourself and how your self-worth is too. These are all the things I'm covering. Well, some of the things I'm covering in the Abundance Queen self-love attracting money course. So it's going to be 14 days of how to level up your manifestations, attract tons of cash, and allow yourself to be absolutely abundant and biatch. We're going to be doing tapping, affirmations, visualizations. There's going to be so much stuff. It's 14 days, 14 different challenges, which you can do in your own time, and to help you set a goal. Know that you're totally deserving of all the whatever the number of money you want to manifest. You're totally deserving of that because you thought of the number, and whatever you think of the universe is going to provide you. But the work is to do with your self-worth and how much you allow yourself to receive, and whether you're deserving of that, and what your money thoughts and beliefs are. For example, today I ordered, and this always happens. I always think that when I have to order my makeup, all my makeup runs out at the same time. So I have to order all of it. And when I was like going through some stuff, I was always ordering the miniature sizes of everything, like travel sizes, because they were cheaper. And if I was ordering travel size makeup, I was going to like departments, I was getting loads of testers and stuff, because I didn't want to spend money, because I was trying to save money. I was trying to be money mindful, then also as well, because I didn't think I was deserving of it. I was too scared to spend it, and I was in this sort of really poverty broke mindset, and as I started to work on that, the money started to come in, my business was expanding, I was having multiple sources of income, I was manifesting money that I wasn't even earning, and people ask me how much money I've manifested over the years. I've manifested like hundreds of thousands of dollars and pounds of money through law of attraction, self-worth and abundance, but not changing my mindset around money. So if I'd manifested tons of it, I'd easily get rid of it and easily spend it as well, because I had this mindset around, not being deserving. So like today, I ordered all my makeup, and it was all like, I ordered like the biggest sizes, and there was a setting spray which I'd bought, and I'd spent quite a lot of money on it. It was like double, I'd say it was like 3 or 4 times what I'd normally pay, and it was huge, and it lasted me for ages. And when I put the order in, I'd ordered all my makeup online this morning, because I couldn't bother to go to the store. So I ordered all my makeup online this morning, and it came to quite a bit, it was a few £100. I was like, I remember before, this used to give me like major anxiety, but I was like, now I was like, oh my God, I'm so thankful and so blessed that I can easily sit in my kitchen, in my knickers, in the morning, after doing my spiritual practice, in a weekday morning, with my cappuccino, order the makeup that I want, order the full sizes, no testers, no travel mini cheap sizes, got all the things that I want. And I'm so thankful and grateful for it. I'm so thankful for it. I totally believe that I totally deserve it too. And having that self-worth, self-belief around that I am worth it, and I deserve it, and I allow wealth and money in. But I was thinking about the times when I didn't think that, and when I was going around with the scarcity mindset, and only having enough money to buy the small amounts or scraps of it. And so it was so nice and like a massive relief to have that feeling of like, actually, yeah, I can afford it. It feels good to spend money. The more money I spend, the more it comes back to me. I'm always in receiving mode. Money's my friend. Money loves me. Money's obsessed with me. I'm the first multi-millionaire in my family. All these manifestations that I'm like working on and tapping on and calling in and setting this energetic frequency to be an absolutely rich, abundant biatch, and we can all do that. It's all within our power to do it. It's just about reframing and resetting your mind around wealth, around self-love, around your beliefs around money. There's so much stuff to unpack, and we learn a lot of it just from growing up. You know what I mean? With the people around us, from relationships and things like that too. And like even like say if you borrowed those money in the past and not being able to pay it back, and having the guilt around that and the forgiveness work that needs to be done around it. So through the course we'll be doing forgiveness work. We'll be doing loads of things we'll be doing anyway. If you want to sign up for the Abundance Queen Manifesting Money Workshop, it's on pre-sale right now. It's £111 and dollars. It'll be all in the links in the bio. Alongside that as well, because so many people are loving the podcast, I'm doing like the Wellness Warriors monthly membership, where you can sign up every month and you get bonus content, premium podcast. There's going to be video podcast now, obviously, because I'm recording a video. I'm doing tapping on there, exclusive tapping, exclusive affirmations, behind the scenes stuff, loads and loads of like community stuff. There's going to be other like-minded people there as well, building this awesome wellness community, the Wellness Warriors from the House of Wellness Podcast, where we're going to be all killing the game, slaying it, leveling up our love life, leveling up our abundance, calling all that cash, making that money, and just being totally abundant. I think that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to be recording my podcast as normal online for the audio version as well, and I'm still doing loads of birth charts too. I've just been doing all the astrology videos. If you're really into astrology, if you're not into astrology, there's loads of info on my House of Wellness Instagram and TikTok as well. I'm posting all the videos about all the astrology all the time, because astrology is such an amazing tool, especially when it comes to finding your perfect partner, finding your dream job, finding your life purpose, finding out where your money is coming from. Literally, your birth chart will tell you everything. So get in touch if you want me to read your birth chart, give you an amazing forecast and all your predictions and all your analysis that you need to step into the highest version of yourself and live the life of your absolute dreams. So this is the last thing I'm going to talk about, and this is the first episode of the video version of the House of Wellness podcast. So glad that you are supporting and repping. And remember, House of Wellness is more than just a mindset, it's a lifestyle, honey.